we'll start with the psychology paper 2, questions 26 to 50. Now the first question here was you have to match the various kinds of reasoning with their example. So as we have already talked about the code ISG, that is inductive reasoning moves from specific to general. So whenever you are moving from specific to general, you are adding up new ideas. So you have using inferences to add new knowledge would be the correct answer for inductive. Deductive tries to draw valid conclusions from the given premises. Physical reasoning is the process that allows you to make prediction about events and objects, and analogical reasoning talks about using means and analysis because you are using problems and then creating sub problems out of it. So when you are for example trying to relate birds' wings to the fins of fish, you are trying to move from a broad concept into a sub problem, and that is what is means and analysis. So this would be the correct match. Next question, you have to match again the given concepts with the correct explanation that is talked about in the list 2. So you have the first, that is cortical mosaic, that is the cortex area which is constantly being excited or inhibited based on what the organism experiences. Next question, drive is a state of readiness that motivates an organism to act for the fulfillment of need or reduce the tension that one has. So the correct match for drive would be 2. Then the next is you have Yerke-Dodson law talks about the curve between arousal and performance, and it says that the level of arousal beyond which the performance tends to decline again. So that's the optimum level of arousal, and beyond it the performance again decreases. Then you have power motivation. Power motivation talks about the tendency to produce intended effects on the behavior of another person. And finally, need is the state of deficiency or excess of something, the fulfillment of or elimination which would lead to survival or balance. So that is what is need. So these are the correct matches. Next question, centrality is a description of trait which characterize a group. So the correct match for 1 would be 2. Self-sentiment is the most powerful sentiment which an organism organizes for the entire personality. Then you have meta-erg are dynamic source traits with an environmental origin. And finally, subsidation is a causal relation between erg, sentiments and attitudes. So that is the correct match. Now next question. Here, disruption of goal directed behavior leads to frustration. This is correct. However, minor frustrations add up to produce a frustration which is much bigger than one single frustration. So this is incorrect, and this was propounded under a few of the experiments that were laid out under the frustration aggression theory. So assertion is incorrect and reason is correct. So 4 would be the correct answer here. Next question. Now this question, the choices seem to be incorrect because all of these three, the anterior nuclear, the ventromedial and the paraventricle nucleus, are all part of the supraoptic region of the thalamus, and only internal lamina is one which is not a part. So none of the choices here correctly match with the answer. So here the only incorrect answer would be the internal lamina. Next question. Short-term memory holds information for less than 30 seconds. So B would be the correct answer. So B only would be the correct answer here. Next question. You have to mention the various perspectives with the explanations. So horizontal vertical illusion is a tendency to perceive the objects which can be either high in the visual field when they are seen from the distance. So that is the correct option. Convergence talks about our eyes turning inwards towards another object when you see close objects together. Then you have the atmospheric perspective that talks about farther the objects are, they are less distinctly seen and they appear to be one, that is atmospheric perspective. And finally, figure ground relationship is the wholeness, and what goes in our mind is in front of the eyes. So we see differentiate the figure and ground based on that. So that is the correct match for this question. Next. The participants in the study were shown novel geometric shapes. Then the participants were quicker to recognize the fragments as a part of the original target. That is correct, because if you have a kind of closure shape, I give you this, you can say okay, this is a part of triangle. If I give you a 3/4 circle, you can say okay, this is a part of a complete circle. So there is an impact of closure, and the participants are quicker to recognize the fragments as a part of the original target if the objects are based on closure. And this follows the Gestalt principle, and we follow Gestalt principle in our everyday life. So reason is incorrect, assertion is correct. So A is true, R is false would be the correct answer here. Next question. Heuristics is used in problem solving. If you try to reduce the number of operations, you take some shortcuts, and that is what is heuristics. So 2 would be the correct answer here. Next question. Anticipation method is used under serial learning or paired associate learning. Now both the serial learning and the paired associate learning try to link one episode to another, and since you are linking one to another, you can anticipate what would be the next, or you can say in advance what would come next. So B and D would be the correct answer. So 4 would be the correct explanation for this. Next question. Gestalt psychologist Whitmer attempted to train children to think in a logical and systematic way, and he used figures such as triangles and circles. However, he was a kind of mathematician and he worked on squares and parallelogram as well, but that was not part of his Gestalt studies. Under this studies, he tried to explain that if you have 6 triangles, you can say a triangular shape of a star could be formed, and the sum is greater than the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. And finally, the circles he used under his concept of 5 motion, where he gave the studies of motion. So there he used circles. So triangles and circles are the correct answer in this case. So C and D would be the correct answer. Now the correct order for the energy mobilization is the cephalic phase, followed by the absorptive phase, and finally the fasting phase. The cephalic phase is the first phase where you have the energy use, and finally you end with the fasting phase. So 2 would be the correct answer here. Next, all of these are examples of self-exonerating mechanisms where one try to act contrary to their moral principle. For example, when there is a moral justification, one can say I stole because there was a need, because I could help my family. There can be examples of dehumanization where a person can say that why not take their land, because they are the ones who are exploiting us for the land. Then there is displacement of responsibility, which says I was just following the orders that were given. And finally, diffusion of responsibility as it occurs in a group decision or a group behavior. So all of these are self-exonerating mechanisms, and all of these would be the correct answer. So 4 would be the correct answer in this case. Next question. In Guilford's structure of intellect model, the abilities that are included are operation, contents and products. So that would be the correct answer. Next. Now the monozygotic twins, since they are identical twins, they have the similar level of intelligence based on the genetic composition, but they can vary on the environmental influence, and they have genetically identified determined reaction range. That is again correct, which is identical. So you have this as a correct explanation for the reason. So 1 and 2 are correct, and reason is the correct explanation. So 1 would be the correct answer here. Next question. You have to match the list with the given word. So you have remembering means meaning of the word properties or object is retrieval clue. Sorry, it's the semantic memory here. When you are remembering the meaning of the words, it's a semantic memory. When you are helping information to be brought about to the mind, when it can be recalled spontaneously, that is the retrieval clue. So you have the clues in the mind based on which you can recall the memory. Remembering any specific experience of the past is an episodic memory. Some very interesting experience or some very traumatic experiences are remembered in the memory, and that is a part of episodic memory. When you retain the representation of sensory input for a very short duration of time, we call it sensory memory. So these are the correct matches for this question. Next question. Information in the short term memory enters a long term memory through the process of elaborate rehearsal. So by rehearsal you have the short term memory that converts into long term memory. Next question. A neural membrane is double layered and the lipid molecules turn their tails towards each other. Both of these are the correct statements, and it is a correct explanation, because when you have the structure of the neuron, you have head which is soluble and tail which is insoluble, and it's the tail which moves away from the liquid, and therefore you have the lipid molecules that turn their tail away from each other. So the reason is the correct explanation for assertion. So both are correct and reason is the correct explanation. One would be the correct answer here. Next question. The inputs from our sensory receptors are structured by our Gestalt principles. So that's the basis of the Gestalt theory. So 2 would be the correct answer here. Now next 5 questions are based on the passage. Now this passage starts with the 200 objective type questions which were administered on 400 students, and then P27 and P73 percentiles were calculated. Out of these, 150 items were retained based on the internal consistency, and these were administered on 750 candidates, for which the mean was 100 and the standard deviation was 20 here. And then you had to assess the dimensionality of verbal intelligence, which was carried out by the factor analysis of each item score. And all of these questions were multiple choice questions with 4 alternatives and 1 correct option. Now the first question here is, which of the following test of significance can be employed in this study to evaluate whether the study or the item discriminates between low score and high scoring group? Now this talks about the point biserial correlation, because you have one factor that is naturally dichotomous, that could be the test score, which could be either 0 or 1, and that you are relating with the ratio, that's the total test score. So therefore you use the point biserial correlation. The next is, which of the following reliability coefficients can be computed to assess the internal consistency? Now out of these 200, 150 were taken, and these 150 were computed based on the internal consistency. Now to calculate this internal consistency, you can use all these 3: odd even reliability, KD20 reliability and Cronbach alpha. However, interscorer reliability has a subjective element which varies from one scorer to another, and therefore interscorer reliability cannot be used. So A, B and C are the correct options here. Next question. For the test, what would be the expected percentile rank for a t-score of 120? Now since the mean is 100 and standard deviation is 20, so one standard deviation positive side would be this, and if we calculate here for the cumulative percentage and the percentile, you have 84.1. So you have 84, that would be the correct answer here. Next question. This question is intendedly meant to confuse. Now the t-score of 80 corresponds to a deviation IQ of 80 because the t-scores that are taken are normalized. So the values for the t-score and the deviation IQ would remain same here, since mean is 100 and standard deviation is 20, so it would be 80 and 120 on one standard deviation plus minus. Next is, what type of correlation should be employed to carry out the factor analysis of the test items? Now to carry out the factor analysis of test items, that means you are carrying out factor analysis of one test item with another test item, and for one test item it's 0 and 1, for another test item it's again 0 and 1. So both the variables here are naturally dichotomous and are nominal, therefore you apply 5 coefficient here. So 2 would be the correct answer here. So with this we cover and complete the paper 2 for Psychology NET January 2017. We'll be covering the paper 3 in the next classes. You can subscribe to our channel for more updates. Have a good day ahead.